Yo, what's up, you guys? What's up, everybody? How we doing? I'm gonna throw these headphones in my ears. What up? What is going on, everyone? Hello, 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 hello. Look at this coaster that I just found. It's a little weight thingy. Okay, so first things first. I found another pair of blue light blocking glasses, and I need your opinion on it. Okay? What's up, everybody? Saw, dude. Okay, so these are my original glasses that I've been wearing. Okay? So we see these ones. You guys can see them, right? Okay? So those are my normal glasses. But I found these old ones that I bought a long time ago that I thought I lost, and they make me look like Harry Potter. So I'm curious about what you guys think of them. They're much different, so be ready, okay? These are the other ones. They're like Harry Potter circle, very thin. Very thin ones. Very thin ones. They're very hipster. Hey, John, I wanted to know what waist size you are. I'm a 34 inch waist. I like them both. Oh, thank you. Looks like something Hassan Piker would wear. I'm just going to rock them, dude. You know? I'm just going to wear these ones today because why not? And I do what I want. I do what I want. Whatever. I do what I want. Alrighty, so today I wanted to talk about my loose skin. Now, obviously, I know there's going to be people that are like, you talk about this all the time, blah, blah, blah. Fair enough, right? People can say whatever they want. I wanted to talk about this because I actually recently, I posted this on my Instagram. I posted this picture, right? And here, let me move that over. So I posted this picture, and a lot of people were kind of talking about it or whatever. And I thought it was interesting because there was a lot of discourse and a lot of conversation. There was this one person that was being incredibly mean, whatever, right? It is what it is. But I thought it was interesting that, you know, these conversations were still being had. And I thought that it would be cool to have this conversation live because, one, obviously, I think it's an interesting topic and it's one that isn't talked about enough, even if you think I talk about it all the time. But also because I think after I say what I have to say, it will be really cool to be able to like field some questions live and talk about things that people actually have, you know, talk about some questions that people actually have live, because that's something I have not been able to do in the previous, you know, videos that I've made. Okay. So the first thing that I kind of wanted to talk about when it comes to loose skin. So this is not how I looked when I first started losing weight, obviously, right? That's obviously not at all what I looked like. So the first question that I get a lot is people ask, when did you first start noticing your loose skin? Now, so for me, and all of this stuff is going to be for me, because everyone's journey is going to be different, especially with loose skin, because we all have, like, seriously, like, everyone has different amounts of loose skin, so it's going to be different for everyone. But for me, I would say once I had lost about 80 pounds, I started realizing that, my skin is not just going to, like, disappear, right? Like, it's not just going to go away. And the more I thought about it, because again, no one was really talking about loose skin at this time when I was losing weight. It wasn't a huge topic of conversation. Any of the shows that I had watched when people lost a lot of weight, they wouldn't really show them like shirtless or anything like that. And then if they did, they would have like already gotten the surgery, right? If you think about like Extreme Makeover and shows like that. So I remember thinking, wow, okay, well, that actually makes sense, because I remember like being like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I have a lot of weight to lose. It kind of makes sense that I'll have loose skin. And the first thing that I started, like where I first started noticing my loose skin was here on my stomach, okay? So it was this part right here. It was like this hanging part, right? That was actually the first place that I noticed the loose skin. It was right there. I remember seeing, because it kind of does this thing where it kind of goes up and like up to the belly button. And I started noticing that, and I was like, oh, wow. That is interesting, right? And for me, like, I got a question on this picture right here, where someone was asking me, like, how did you come to terms, with your loose skin? Like, how did you become okay with it? And for me, I think a big reason why I think I was able to be okay with it was, like, when I first started losing weight, it really wasn't much of a vanity thing. Like, obviously that was a big part of it. Like, I obviously wanted to look better, but like I've talked about it before. Like, when I decided to start losing weight, I was genuinely afraid, and I was like, I'm scared that I'm going to die soon. So it was, for me, it was like I was losing weight in my mind out of necessity when I first started to lose weight, right? It wasn't, I just want to look better. I want to get more girls. I want to get this. I want to get that. It was like, I want to look better for, I don't want to look better. I want to be healthy, and I want to live longer. Like, that was kind of when I started losing the weight. But then, obviously for me, a really big thing that has helped me, and I understand that this is for me. This isn't going to work for everyone. But when I started my Instagram, this is before everything blew up. I was a very, very small account. Like, I literally made my Instagram just because I felt bad that I was posting so much stuff. I was posting so much stuff on my regular Instagram. So I started the Instagram, and a lot of the questions I started getting, because when I started my Instagram, it was once I had lost most of my weight, right? So when I started my Instagram, one of the first questions I got were, how does your skin look, right? And I honestly it was nerve-wracking to post it the first time, because before then, like, I had maybe shown a couple people in my family and like my really close friends that I've shown them my loose skin. But I remember thinking to myself, you know what? I'm wrong. Now that I'm thinking about it, the first time, wow, this is cool. So the first time, I remember this now, the first time I ever posted about my loose skin, it was actually on the subreddit, Lose It. And it might have been Progress Pics. I don't know. It was one of those two. And I had posted a picture of my before and after of my before and after. And on the subreddits, people are a lot more kind of, they'll do whatever they want. They'll ask whatever they want. They do what they want, right? So people just started asking me, what's your skin look like? Because again, this community is all about weight loss. So I'm sure they've all seen tons of different types of skin. So that was the first time I ever posted about my skin. And I was incredibly nervous at this point. Incredibly nervous, right? So, but then, I don't know, I just kind of got more comfortable with it. And then eventually I ended up sharing it on my, on my Instagram, Obese to Beast. And I had shared it a few times. Like, it kind of, I don't want to say it became like normal, but I talked about it a little bit. But then I ended up making my YouTube channel, and one of the 3 videos that I wanted to make was, one of them was just a regular transformation video. One of them was full day of eatings. And the third one was my loose skin video, my biggest insecurity, the one that went viral and completely changed my life, right? So obviously, that video going viral and my skin being in front of, literally, I think it has like 10 million views now, right? In front of 10 million pairs of eyes, that kind of almost pushed me to be like, hey, this many people have seen it. Like, it's not a secret anymore, bro. It is what it is, right? And so for me, that was a huge helping hand. Now, I will say I got really comfortable sharing it online, but still in like real life, person to person kind of stuff, it was still difficult for me. And that is the one thing that I think people, they see where I am and they see what I've done, and they think for themselves they have to be there right away. Now, I am pretty comfortable in my skin now, but again, it has been 6 years since I've lost my weight. So it's taken me a long time to get here. And I think a lot of people feel like they have to be there right away. And someone's saying it all depends on genetics. I think that's a huge factor, and that's a good point. A lot of people, they think it's like, oh, it's because you lost weight too fast, or oh, it's because you did this, or oh, it's because of that. Like, there are a lot of factors, but genetics is obviously a big one. I think that age, when you gained your weight and also when you lost your weight, I think that, like, there are so many different factors. And that's why when I started this video, I said, again, this is for me, because everyone is going to have a different experience with it. And everyone is going to have, their own, this is what happened to me kind of thing. Like, everyone is so different. I'm just trying to share how I got to where I am, to where it's like, honestly, I don't even really think much about it if I talk about it or if I post about it, because it's just part of who I am. And I do want to say this, and I think that this is important, because every time I talk about these things, I get a few people that will kind of like comment, and almost because I haven't gotten the surgery or because I feel the way that I do, they think that I am in some way like against people getting the surgery. And I really don't care. Like, I really don't. Like, if you want to get the loose skin surgery, go for it. Like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you not to do it. If you want to do it and you think it'll make you happier, go for it, Like, I do not care. And so I think for some reason people like think I have this weird, like, if someone gets it, I have like this animosity towards them. It really isn't there. Like, it really truly isn't. Even if you are literally only getting it because you want to look better naked, right? It's literally only vanity. That's the only reason you're getting this loose skin surgery. I am still 100% all for you getting it. Like, I don't care. And if you're getting it for a health reason and you're getting infections, I'm all for it. If you're getting it because X, Y, and Z, I'm all for it. Like, you do your thing. I don't care, right? But for some reason, people struggle with understanding that, or maybe they think I'm lying. I'm really not. I have tons of friends. I'm not so sure if Zach is here right now in the chat, but one of my literal best friends, Zach Attacks Fat, who is on Instagram and he is on YouTube. We hang out all the time. He's gotten the loose skin surgery, and I'm not like, you're a terrible person. Like, I don't care, right? And so for me, I think a lot of what has helped me is, one, it being out there for so many people to see, right? There's no hiding. So I think that's a big thing for me. And then on top of that, time. Like, it really does take time. Now, I do want to kind of switch this over, and I want to answer some questions. So if anyone in chat has some questions, because I think that would be really helpful. Because again, I have things in my head, but I think it would be really helpful for you guys out there. If you have any questions, just ask, because I want to answer some questions now. Oh, Zach's here. Okay, cool. Yeah. Did you have lymphedema? No, I did not have lymphedema. It's so scary showing people loose skin for the first time because you have no idea how they will react. I'm getting there, but most days I want to hide. Yeah, that's totally normal, right? Like, it is, I think that it's totally normal to be uncomfortable with having loose skin. And so I don't ever, again, it's the same thing. Like, I'm not sitting here saying you need to be where I am right now, and like everyone should feel this way about their skin. It is hard and it's different. And when things are different, people might act mean, they might act in a certain way. I can say for myself, I have never had someone like come up to me in person and been like, your skin's disgusting, or even really had that many weird looks when I have my shirt off. Like, if I'm going to be with someone and I'm taking my shirt off in front of them, right, I am obviously pretty trusting of that person. So I've never had that like happen and then I take my shirt off and they're like, oh my God, that's disgusting, and they leave. Because normally I would have that conversation with them before the shirt comes off anyways, right? Like, yo, your boy lost some weight. Your boy has some loose skin. And then usually they're like, well, yeah, of course, and so... yeah. Why do people on social media always ask about loose skin immediately without hesitation? Why do they think it's okay? I get DMs all the time, and that's their opening line. Wow. That's interesting. I would say for me, I know that for me, the reason I get so many questions about it is because I talk about it so much. And so for me, again, it's a little different. That's interesting that you're saying that you're getting these questions, and I'm assuming you're probably not talking about it as much as I am. I think curiosity will always, for a lot of people, will always come before manners. And I think that because some people, like if someone asks me about it, I don't feel any type of way about it. Like it doesn't make me upset, anything. I'll let you know. But for some people, that might make them feel like, hey, I don't want to talk about this. This makes me uncomfortable. And so I think it's kind of hard as the person that is asking the question, is this kind of a rude question? I would say for most people, you should kind of err on the side of caution and maybe not just ask people about their skin, but it is what it is, People always use the fear of loose skin as an excuse to not lose weight. Yeah, I think that there are certain people that will do that, but I will say, and I've said this in videos before, that if that is your reason for not losing weight, it's literally just an excuse. Like in the most pure sense of the word, you don't actually have plans of losing weight or actually want to do what it takes to actually lose the weight. And so you're using that excuse as a reason to not lose weight. And it's just like, it literally is just an excuse. Well, look how long it took you to put on to through, won't lose it overnight. I don't know what that one means. Is it not a little bit rewarding? Yeah, I would say so, but I mean, I think that it is, like I've like said before, it's like a, it's a trophy, or it's a way to like show my hard work. But I mean, again, that is a very personal thing. Like I can see someone having the loose skin and thinking to themselves, like, this is a curse, like all this is doing is reminding me of who I used to be. And that can be really negative for people. So that's why I say, like, if someone wants to get the surgery for just a reason of, I want to get rid of this skin, who am I to say you shouldn't do it? Like, I think that it's important to look up all of the, risk factors, look up everything that can happen during surgery and can happen afterwards, and weigh all those options out and for you decide. But it's like, for me to be like, no, you should look at it as a battle scar. It's just not that simple for most people. How long does it take to lose the loose skin? So with loose skin, again, it's going to be different for everyone. But with the amount that I have, right? So with this amount of loose skin right here, that's never going to go away unless I got surgery. Like that's just how it works. There is no autophagy that is going to actually get rid of that much. I know everyone's going to get mad at me for saying that, but it doesn't work like that. Like if someone is trying to tell you autophagy will get rid of that amount of loose skin, they're lying. Like it just doesn't work like that. Have you had to overcome insecurities for your loose skin, or have you always felt this way? I kind of talked about that a little bit earlier. It's such a personal choice for everyone whether to get the surgery or not, and their choice should be respected by the rest of us. Yeah, I agree. I think it's weird when people come into like my pictures and they genuinely get upset. And like people, I don't think people believe me, but like I'm telling you, if you go to that picture, if you go to this picture, there's a couple people that are genuinely upset with me. And I honestly probably I responded kind of meanly a little bit, but sometimes you just like, hey, it is what it is. I'm not just gonna let someone make fun of me for hours on end without saying anything. Obese to Beast, how tall are you? I am 5'8". What weight were you at your max? I was like 360 is the most weight I saw, but I honestly think that I was maybe close to 400 at my highest, but I don't have I just don't have a number there. John, people get mad at people who lose weight so they can live longer. Don't be surprised. Ignore it. Empty emotional calories. Surgery is no joke. My sister had breast cancer and she chose to do reconstructive surgery, and she's still dealing with problems 8 years after her surgeries. Yeah, I mean, there's, again, like with anything, there's going to be positive and there's going to be negative. Again, for me, like the reason I haven't gotten surgery. So someone asked me that question, and so there's a couple reasons, right? I mean, there's a lot of reasons. So first off, it is a major surgery. So with any, and it's like a major surgery. It's not just like I would be getting a tummy tuck and it'd be whatever, right? Like the amount of, like, if I wanted to get rid of all of my loose skin, that's not happening in, real quick and then I'm good to go. Snip, snip, go home. It's not how it works. So it is a huge, huge surgery, probably multiple surgeries for me. So there's that. There's a price thing, which it costs a lot of money. And a lot of people, whenever I say that, people are like, well, you should just start a GoFundMe. You should just get this. You should just do this. I don't want to ask my followers to pay for my surgery. I just don't want to do it. I will never do that. I don't want to do that. So that's off the table, right? So there's a money thing. And again, I don't want to do a GoFundMe. I feel weird about that, right? So there is that. And then on top of that, it's not like you get this surgery and then you look quote unquote normal, or like you never were overweight, or everything is fine now. Like it just doesn't work like that. Like you get the surgery and yes, your loose skin is gone, but it's not like loose skin is gone equals you look like you have been quote unquote normal your whole life, right? Your loose skin is gone, but also it's like, oh, that guy had surgery for something, right? So it's like, for me, if the whole thing is I'm afraid of looking different with my shirt off, if I got the surgery, I'm going to look different with my shirt off regardless, right? Thanks, Ellie. Thank you, Ellen. Ellen, thank you for being inspiring. Thank you so much for your New Zealand money. I appreciate it. Possible Pat looked pretty good after. Yeah, I mean, again, it's not like everyone looks like that. I'm not saying you look like a freak if you get it. Like, that's not what I'm saying. Again, it's just like, for me, it's just not worth it to go. And then the recovery time as well. Like you have to go through a really, really long recovery time. And for me, I'm just like, again, like it wouldn't just be a one-time thing. Like if I was like, I want to get rid of all of my loose skin, then that's not just going to be a one-time thing. Like that's going to be multiple surgeries and it's going to be multiple recoveries. And again, it's just like, it's not something that I am, that I feel like dealing with, How old are you now, and how old were you first started losing weight? Finding it a little bit harder the older I get. I'm 27 now, and when I first started losing weight, I was 20 years old. You could get very, very muscular. So that's something that I hear a lot is like, oh, you should just gain muscle and fill in the loose skin. Like that's the thing that I hear. You guys, like if I wanted to gain the amount of muscle that it would take to fill in this loose skin, I honestly would probably be more unhealthy at that weight with that amount of muscle than I was at my obese state with, like just being fat. Like it would be not good. My body would have to work so hard. And again, I mean, I would have to like get on steroids. I would have to be doing like, it would be such a huge thing. And again, once I got older, I would just lose the weight anyways, and then I'd have loose skin anyways. So it's just like, absolutely, that's not actually something you can do. I think it will depend for me. I have lost 60 pounds and I still have like 160 to go. I already see loose skin coming and I'm okay with it. Loose skin for the win. It took a long time to love what I refer to as my flying squirrel body, but I'd much rather have the extra skin than the extra fat. It's my trophy now, not a curse. Yeah, and I think that's a good way to look at it. But I know that there are a lot of people that just genuinely can't like feel that way about it. And I understand that. And so for me, it's like, I understand where they're coming from. So I'm not going to sit here and say like, you have to be okay with it or whatever. So yeah, geez, dude, I'm sweating so much. It's so hot in here. Ugh. You see this sweat? Yikes. Can you get loose skin, for losing like 30 to 40 pounds? my first answer would be probably not much, not to a point where like it wouldn't look anything like mine. You might have a little bit of like skin untightness, if that's a word, but like nothing that would be worth like worrying about. I think at 30 or 40 pounds, like you should be fine. Skin is just the aesthetic. Losing the weight will allow you to live longer and healthier. Yes, I agree with that 100%. I had a tummy tuck, the most painful surgery I've ever had, and I've had 4 kids, 2 C-sections, but now I feel like it's worth it. Yeah, and like I think that's a big thing, right? Like a lot of people, when you get, you know, whatever surgery, obviously when you're going through the like the actual recovery process, it's sucky, but then once you get through it, you look back and you're like, oh, that was worth it. That's like any, like, as meathead as this is, but like whenever I go through a really hard workout, when I'm in the middle of it myself, but then once you're done, you're like, oh, that wasn't that bad. Like I probably could have maybe done a little bit better here and maybe pushed a little bit harder here. So you look back and you're like, oh, the pain, like it's hard for us to remember what pain feels like once we're not in the pain. So you should talk about the impact that building some muscle has on the look of loose skin. Yeah, so I think that I obviously believe that having some muscle is a good thing, especially like if you are super worried about your loose skin. Like for me, I wish I had the picture on me, but I remember when I had like just lost the weight and I was like didn't have any like muscle or anything like that. Yeah, sorry about the lag. I don't know what's going on. The internet here has been really bad recently. I think that it's okay now. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. 1 second. The internet here, man. I wonder if it's like the heat or something. I don't know. I don't know why it is. Like I don't know why it's. Is it okay now? It's weird. Okay. It looks like everything's okay now. Okay. But okay. So you should talk about the impact that building some muscle has on the look of loose skin. So I remember when I had like just lost the weight and I hadn't like put on any muscle, my loose skin looked significantly more different than it does now. And so I do think that, you know, trying to at least put on some muscle is a good thing. But again, like you can't think to yourself, oh, I'm going to fill in all of my loose skin with muscle, because it just doesn't, it just doesn't work like that. It's like, it's not that simple. So yeah. Oh, wow. Jeez, man. It is dropping a lot of... Yeah, it has to be the heat. Like, that has to be what it is. It like keeps... Like, normally I don't drop any frames at all, and now it's like dropping a ton of them. I don't know why it's doing that. Is it super easy for you to gain weight because of your former self? I would say that, like, obviously gaining weight isn't a struggle for me. Like, I wouldn't say, like, as far as, like, gaining, like, good weight, as far as, like, getting a bunch of muscle and stuff like that, like, that is obviously, that is like it's not like it's some easy thing that it's like I work out and then I have a ton of muscle. But I do think that like as far as like compared to someone that struggles with gaining weight, obviously it's going to be easier for me than for that person. So I personally think that it's probably relatively easy for me to put on weight. And obviously if I'm like just doing whatever I want, then I'd probably gain weight. But I'd say that's most people, if that makes sense. Does having loose skin cause your weight to fluctuate more daily due to water retention? Wow, that's a great question. And absolutely. Wow, what a great question. So for me, I fluctuate tremendously every single day. So I probably fluctuate, honestly, between 10 and 12 pounds every single day. And I do think that a big part of that is because of the loose skin that I have and because it can hold so much water. Like, and I'm not sure if this is different for anyone else, but like every morning when I wake up, like my shoes will be harder to get on and I can feel like my feet rubbing against the sides more. But then once I get a good sweat in and I work out, like the shoes that I'm wearing right now, can't really see them, but those shoes, I put them on and it's much easier to put them on because everything is the bloat is gone down and it's like way easier to like put on my shoes. And that's kind of with like literally everything. So yes, absolutely. Like if you have a lot of loose skin, you will probably experience a lot of weight fluctuations more than someone that maybe didn't have that loose skin. Do you consume a lot of salt or watch your salt intake? I have a lot of salt, so that obviously will add to how much that will add to how much I bloat probably. Pepper asked, how can I tell how much my loose skin weighs? Now, I have personally never found a way to actually be able to do this. I've gotten like DEXA scans and all these things, and none of them say this is how much your loose skin weighs. So for me, I've never really paid too much attention. Like I weigh right now 212 pounds. If someone asked, how much do you think your loose skin weighs? I would probably say 12 pounds. Like I don't really know. And honestly, like it's like one of those things that it's not worth me stressing about because even if I did know, what does that do? Right? Doesn't really do anything. And so I really don't stress about that very much. Do you find yourself excessively sweating as much before you lost weight as after your weight loss? I actually sweat a lot more now. I just am a sweaty person, as you can see. I'm literally sweating through the shirt right now. So I definitely sweat a lot more now than I did then. Zach said it probably weighs less than that. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it was less than 12 pounds. But I don't know. People always assume that like my extra skin weighs like 50 pounds or something like that. It does not weigh that much. Zach said his loose skin weighed 13 pounds. And he was a much bigger boy than I was. So, and he said there was a bit of fat as well. So if you guys don't know Zach, man, Zach, you should just come on Discord and we can talk because then they can ask someone that has actually had the surgery. I'm a very sweaty person. It can be really obnoxious. Yeah, it can be. Trust me. I agree. I like how Zach's become a co-host of the live streams. If you don't want to, Zach, you don't have to. I'm not trying to force you or anything. All right. Let me hit up Zach. We're calling him. He's not answering. How rude. Hello, Sir Zach. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes. Let me make sure they can hear you. Bro, do you are you able to do video?
No, because I'm on my computer right now. If I was on my phone, I could, but
It's
I feel
all
like
good.
sound
It's all
quality-
good. I just figured I'd ask. He isn't super loud today. Bro, it was like so loud last time.
Man, we had to fix the settings, all right?
That-
We had technical difficulties.
It was like, what's up?
All right, let me get the chat going.
Yeah.
Let's see what people are saying. All right, there we
All right, so for those of you guys that don't know, so this is my friend Zach. He is also a content creator on YouTube, on Instagram. He's lost 200 something pounds, right?
Yeah, like at my lowest, I had lost like 240.
240 pounds. And now you ended up losing all the weight, and you got the loose skin surgery, right?
Yep.
And you've kind of like dealt with all of that stuff. So I'm just trying to pull up your Instagram so people can see what you look like.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But like, so if anyone has any questions for Zach, for someone that has actually been through the surgery, you guys go ahead and ask, because I'm gonna look up his Instagram right now.
So yeah, just right off the bat, the procedures I got was it's called a 360 lift. So what they do is they take skin around your whole entire body, like all around your belt line, so off your stomach and like your love handle area.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also got a male breast reduction, but I didn't get the one where they cut all the way across your chest. I got the one where they like cut in your armpit and then pull the skin shut and then move your nipples over. So those are the procedures I got done.
And me and Zach have actually done a few videos on the channel. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen them, where he talked about his loose skin surgery, and kind of like the most recent videos were you kind of dealing with a little bit of regain and what that was like,
Right.
and obviously now you are crushing it again.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, so Zach's always been super open about all this stuff, so I figured it'd be cool to kind of have him
Yeah.
talk. And so this is a good question. So Hannah said, do the scars hurt? Do they feel tight or something similar?
No. So the only thing about the scars is that they're very numb, honestly. Like, I have like a lot of numbness still. And what I understand is the numbness I have is definitely on the higher end of what you would expect. Like, when I would explain the numbness that I had to my surgeon, he was like, oh, okay, yeah, like, that's actually quite a bit more than usual. But especially on my incision line, I don't feel anything. When I was first recovering, it was a bit more like it was itchy, and that was annoying because you couldn't scratch it because you can't feel anything, but it's like itchy still. But no, it doesn't really hurt ever. So another thing though that I will mention is when I wear my belt, like when I'm doing like really heavy lifting, and I wear my belt and I'm wearing my belt tight and I'm really bracing hard, sometimes I'll feel like a bit of a pulling sensation, like down in my lower abs and obliques. But it doesn't really hurt. It just feels kind of weird. But that's it.
So someone asked, Zach, what was your ultimate deciding factor?
Honestly, the body dysmorphia just kind of like stealing my happiness. Honestly, like it really, the best way I've ever thought to describe what it's like to have loose skin, like, and body dysmorphia is like when you look in the mirror, I could still see like the outline of a fat person. So like I would look at myself and I would still feel fat, and it didn't matter how much weight I lost because I still had man boobs. And honestly, my whole life I had man boobs. I always got made fun of for them. People would always grab them. Like, I hated that about myself more than anything.
The scoops back in the day?
I hated it. And so for me, it was like I lost 240 freaking pounds, and I still have man boobs.
Mm-hmm.
And it really wore on me. And then it was like, all right, well, I kind of got to the point where I had accepted it for a little while, where it was just like, I mean, it is what it is. You look better than you've ever looked in your entire life, so, live with it type thing.
Yeah.
But no, I was talking to my mom one day, and I had mentioned it, and she said that she would help me out with some of the money for it. So I was lucky. I'm very fortunate that I had help with the cost, because it is not cheap.
Yeah. No, it's interesting, like the whole, where you talk about like the whole body dysmorphia thing and like the man boobs thing, because I definitely had man boobs, obviously, but like it wasn't this like big thing for me, right? Like it wasn't like I remember my stomach was like this. I had a big stomach. I had like a big, like, I called it my spare tire. Like my lower back and my lower stomach were really big. Yeah. And for me, I still have like where I hold most of my fat is in my lower back. But for like, it doesn't like bother me. And it might literally just be that I can't see it. Like seriously, like it might be that.
It was funny because for me, like I did not care about my stomach at all. I had basically took on the persona as a big guy, so I was just like a big boy. I was always outgoing and fun, and I had friends, so I never felt like I was lame. But the man boobs, man, that bothered me so much, and the fupa.
Yeah,
the man boobs and the fupa were the two things that really bothered me, and those were two things that I didn't feel really got that much better after I had already lost all the weight. And another thing I want to mention though is that I had really stubborn body fat, like in my skin. And you could even look on my Instagram, like I was pretty lean even when I got my surgery. Like I was pretty lean, like in my shoulders, and my body fat percentage was pretty small. Like you could see my abs and everything, but I still had these like big pockets of fat still. Like I still had like a lot of fat in my chest, and then just like right in the front of my stomach, and then like right in my like love handle area. And so yeah, it I feel like the surgery for me too was even a little bit more necessary because my skin never really emptied.
Yeah.
I had, it wasn't like to a point where I felt like I could really lose a lot of more weight. It was like you're already getting kind of small, dude.
Yeah. I think we're looking at the picture right now. And again, like that's a big reason why I don't ever make like these absolute statements about loose skin, because it's like, just because I might have my own experience, that doesn't mean I know exactly what everyone else feels. So that's why when like, if someone's like, oh, I'm thinking about getting the surgery, should I? I'm like, don't ask me. Like, it's not my decision to make for you. Like, that is all you. There's a question. Someone sent a super chat, and I want to make sure we answer it. So Atticus asked, do you feel the surgery was worth it for you?
100%. Yeah, I would do it over again in a heartbeat. The amount of confidence that I have, like I would buy shirts that like wouldn't fit me right, like just because like I didn't want them to like hug on my chest or like on my abdomen. So like the amount of confidence that I got there skyrocketed. The amount of confidence that I got, honestly, when it comes to like, sex and everything as well, just like being more comfortable, like in that sense, especially like it's not talked about that much on social media about loose skin and stuff, but like as a guy, if you got a fupa and you lose weight, you got fupa loose skin, man.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I understand not everybody does have a fupa when they gain weight, but I definitely did, and I definitely have loose skin there. So getting that skin taken off too, like to me, it helped me feel like so much, just more normal. Like I finally felt like I was normal, and that was the main reason why I did it, and that's the main reason why I would do it again. Like looking back on it, 8 weeks of being kind of like laid up wasn't that bad.
Yeah. So like with me, the whole like fupa thing, I was lucky that I didn't have much like loose skin like around around Lil Jon, and so like, or as much fat. So like I don't have like an insane amount of loose skin. Like I definitely do have loose skin like around like in my like inner thighs and stuff like that. But as far as like obstructing things, I don't really have that issue at all.
And I mean, I wouldn't say it obstructed things. It just kind of hung out. I didn't like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally understand that. Someone asked, they said, how long did it take to recover? And you kind of already answered that, but it was like 8 months for you, right? Or 8 weeks, sorry.
Yeah, it was about 8 weeks. Honestly, it didn't take that long though, right? Like the main recovery was, I would say, the first 5 weeks. The first 5 weeks was like when it was still like hard for me to get around and stuff. But after like week 5, I was like, I didn't need anybody taking care of me anymore. You know, like I didn't need like help getting up or anything. Because the main thing was like when I got the surgery, they tightened my abs, and with doing the ab tightening, it just messes you up. You know, that's your abs are what you use to stand up. So it's when they're on fire and they hurt really bad, you need somebody there to like help you up. And I mean, the first week, I think maybe it was even I think it was just the first week I was home. I had a catheter, so I didn't even get up the first week I was home.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then my first check-in, I got it taken out. But the hardest part of recovery, honestly, towards the end, was the fact that one of my drains kept draining for a lot longer than normal. You know, normally they come out after 2 to 4 weeks. But I had one in for, I think it was 6 weeks. So I had like, I think it was, the official count was 45 days that I couldn't take a shower. And it drove me insane.
Yeah, dude, 45 days without a shower. Whew, man.
Yeah, I was doing like sponge baths, like those those camping showers, you know what I mean? Where they're like wet wipes the size of towels, basically.
Yeah.
You just wipe your whole body down. It was bad.
Jeez.
Somebody said, "How did Zach poop?" You don't poop.
Really?
Oh yeah, no, I didn't poop for like 3 weeks.
Jeez, that's crazy. Well, because were you able to eat really at all, or no?
Yes and no. I didn't eat as much as I normally would, but I definitely was eating to where I would have gone to the bathroom. But when you're recovering from surgery and taking a lot of like painkillers, you get kind of backed up. So yeah, I didn't really poop for a while.
Someone said, I only had 45 pounds to lose, but I'm dealing with a lot of loose skin on my stomach. Well, there you go. So, I mean, again, like I said, everyone's going to be different, especially like if you held all your weight in a certain area, like you might have loose skin there. Like, so that's why I try never to make like absolute statements of if you have this much weight, you'll have this much loose skin, because it's so different. Like if you have 100 pounds to lose, but somehow it's dispersed very evenly on your body, you're going to have a lot less loose skin than someone that had 100 pounds to lose, but all of their weight was in their chest and in their stomach. Like everyone is so different. Like
one thing I found that does seem to be pretty consistent across everybody I have seen. I don't want to speak in complete absolutes here, but what seems to be pretty consistent is that if you have folds, you're going to have loose skin. I have not seen a single person where like their stomach actually like folded over, or like their chest actually folded over where they lost all the weight and didn't have loose skin there.
Yeah.
Like,
that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, because you see a lot of people that might have like, I don't know how to explain it, but they might be heavier, but they have like the hard, round kind of stomach.
Yeah, they're just like husky and chunky, you know? Yeah.
And they will lose weight, and like I'll see pictures on like online, and I'm like, well, yeah, they don't have loose skin because their stomach wasn't that big, or like it wasn't like I guess a good way to say it is like the folds, like it didn't fold over. Like mine certainly did, like for sure.
Definitely collected in certain areas more so than anywhere else. Like you could see in the picture, like my chest and my stomach right there, it just stayed. It was not going anywhere.
Yeah, that's crazy,
some people
man.
lose weight and then it just disappears. Whoop.
Yeah, it is crazy, man. It's crazy how everyone's like story and how much they might have versus how much they might not have. It's like it's just so different for everyone. So that's why whenever I talk about this stuff, like I always try and say this is my experience. This is a good question. I understand that you probably can't answer this for everyone, but on what basis does a doctor approve your surgery? I know not everyone will qualify. Do you have any info on that?
Yeah, totally. So my surgeon, I went with Dr. Katzen. He's based out of Southern California. That's where I live. And he requires you to be at your goal weight for at least a year. So at least maintained at your goal weight for a year. Like that was kind of that was his major one, right? Was he didn't want to do a surgery on somebody if they were going to lose more weight, right? Because then it's like, well, then you're going to have more skin.
Mm-hmm.
But that seemed to be like his only kind of, I would say, weight loss related requirement. All the other requirements were more just like health related, like surgery clearance type things, like general health things.
Awesome, dude. Well, thanks for coming on. The freaking stream is like buffering like crazy. I don't know what is
that internet, man,
bro. But the thing is, I honestly think that it is I honestly think that it is the fact that of how hot it is. Like, I don't know, because this has never happened before, and so I don't know why it's buffering. Like, it's been buffering so bad recently.
Yeah. I mean the heat probably has something to do with it, and right now every internet service provider's been having bandwidth problems just due to everybody staying home, I think.
Yeah.
But
well, I'm just
once you get a better connection, it'll definitely happen less, right? Because
yeah,
when your ceiling is higher, when it drops, it's not as big of a deal, right? But right now your ceiling isn't that high, so when it drops, it's a bigger deal.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's just frustrating, man, because I'm looking at the looking at the live kind of stuff, and it's dropped 4,000 frames, and last week I was doing streams where I literally dropped 0 frames. You know what I mean? Wow. So it's just I don't know what's going on.
Internet connections are like that sometimes. They get spotty every now and then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I don't know, it's so weird. Someone asked, is your PC case exhausting hot air to the touch? So the heat and stuff, when I check it, it's always really good. I
don't think it's your PC.
I can check it right now. Let's check it.
Nah, it's definitely your internet connection, bro.
Yeah, I know it is.
We did the speed test. I saw what it was.
Let's see. Yeah, I wonder if I'm gonna do it.
You can't convince me otherwise.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it right now. Let's see where I'm at right now.
What, on a speed test?
Yeah, I'm gonna check
this. It's gonna make it even worse. It's gonna be even worse because you're using other bandwidth right now.
I was hoping last time that it dropped that it was my the person that I talked to that was trying to set up the set up the new internet, because I'm paying for better stuff. I was hoping that that's why it was happening, they were working on it. It's definitely not the case. Yeah, it's the same as it's always been. That 5 upload speed, 25 download.
Yep.
Woo.
Yeah, no. It's not
super
good.
quick. Super quick.
It's not very good.
Jeez, man.
But you get that improved, you won't have these problems.
Yeah, that's what I'm working on. I don't know. I don't know what that means. I thought that it, if I asked them to, hey, I want to pay, I want to give you money for better internet. I thought it was they were here you go.
At least 100 upload.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
That's something simple you could say.
I don't know how. I just thought it was I'm just confused as to does someone need to come here? I don't think they do.
No, they'll be able to do it over the phone.
Yeah, that's why I'm confused, because the owner of the gym and stuff has reached out to them, and
somebody just said they're just eavesdropping on our phone call now.
It's true. Whatever. It is. Hey, we had a good conversation about loose skin for an hour.
Hey,
okay.
I'm still watching chat, man. If somebody has any questions, I got you.
Yeah, we're still talking.
But yeah, did he call about the internet or?
Yeah, he did, and they said they they were gonna do it, and I don't know what's going on because it hasn't changed yet.
Weird.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be like that. Does Little John changes in any way after losing that much weight? So I've talked about this many times.
Same.
When you lose weight, it's not like your penis gets bigger. It's just the fat around it gets smaller, and so therefore the amount of usable area gets more.
Right.
But it's not like it's like, oh, it's grown up now.
Well,
no,
I
it
had a
doesn't
big
work like that.
fupa that took a lot of length from me.
Mhm,
So
yeah.
for me, it was drastic. I was like, whoa, okay, all right, we good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely improves the situation, but it's not like it's like puts extra inches on it. It just improves the amount that you're able to use is the best way I can really describe it.
Exactly.
Does your girlfriend care about your loose skin? No, she loves it. She likes to play with it all the time. It's a good time.
Yeah, I've honestly never had any girl that I interacted with before I got my skin off that ever like felt bad about it. Like it's honestly never been an issue like dating.
Yeah, I think like so many people get like super stressed out about it, and I don't know, like I'm not trying to dismiss that because I totally understand that.
Right.
But like when it comes to like a girlfriend or a significant other or a boyfriend, whatever, like if you have, I would say have the conversation with the person before you show them, right? Because I think that's just makes sense. But like let them know, and for me, I've always said the sooner you do it, the better. Like I'm not saying first date you have to be like, hey, I have loose skin, but it's like if you wait a super long time, it's gonna feel like super like, oh my gosh, this is a huge thing that I'm dealing with, that I'm not like you almost feel like you're lying.
Well, I never brought it up. I never once said, hey, I have loose skin.
Really?
No.
And you so you
like you saw the way my skin was. Like I feel like your skin is a bit more passable. But I'm like, we're not gonna get to the point where my shirt's off without your body at least touching my body. And if your body or your hands are touching my body, I don't have a normal body at that point. Like that I have loose skin because you can feel it. Like I still had like fat like in that stomach area and like in my chest. So for me, it was always kind of like, okay, well, if things advance past that point, you already know.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I would agree with that. If someone's like genuinely surprised, like you must have like walked in before you ever met and just took your shirt off right away or something like that.
Exactly. Like, and most of the time, obviously we talk about weight loss. It's a huge part of my life. It's basically what I do for work is help people lose weight. So it always comes up. But yeah, no, it's never been an issue though. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never had anyone like see it and like freak out or anything. Like I don't know, it's never really been an issue. And again, like I said, like most of the time if I get to that point, I personally have said something about it. Not that it's like we've had this huge conversation like we have to talk about it for hours, but it's just like I'm just like, yo, I have loose skin. It's like literally that. And if they want to know more, of course, like we can talk about it. But like I'm not going to sit there and be like, let me give you a PowerPoint presentation. And she,
I think it's just so much like it's a bigger secret to you than it is to other people, right? I think that other people don't see it as big of a deal as you do. Other people are like, oh yeah, you have loose skin. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Whatever. You know what I mean? But you're like, oh man, I have loose skin. What are they going to think? Because you're insecure about it. So it's really not as big of a deal as we make it out to be in our heads.
Yeah, someone said, I called my loose skin Jiggly Bits the first time he touched my belly, and now my husband looked like a kid in the candy store. So, like, yeah, like, again, like, of course there are going to be people that aren't going to like it. Like, I'm not going to sit here and lie and be like, everyone's going to love it, and if they don't, they're a terrible person. Like, I think if someone doesn't like it, I don't personally think that makes them a terrible person. But that obviously makes them not the right person for me. Like, that's about as simple as I can make it. So if someone isn't cool with it, I don't want to force them to be cool with it. And if, like, not even if they're, like, even if they're like, I guess I can handle it, like, I don't want that either. Like, if you, you know, like, ugh.
That's weird. Like, if I'm going to be dating somebody or pursuing somebody, I want to feel like that person is attracted to me. Plain and simple. So if you're not attracted to me, don't pursue me. Don't let me know. Like, just, you know what I mean? Like, what's the point if you're just like okay with somebody's body, or like I don't know. Like, I feel like there should at least be attraction there, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so Amanda said, I think it's important to discuss if it's really easy to hide the loose skin. I have loose skin that is not visible unless I am undressed, but I can see how it would be a turnoff. Yeah, so like, I think, again, there's different levels for everyone, and well, just she probably doesn't want me to do this. So Amanda is my girlfriend, and she does have loose skin that you wouldn't be able to see unless you took her clothes off, and we've had conversations about it, and obviously for me, I am someone that has loose skin, so yeah, boy, I don't care, but like I totally, and we've had conversations of like, I honestly feel like it's probably harder for her to deal with it than it is for me. Because, again, for me, it's like there's no hiding it, really. But, like, for her, like, seriously, you would never know. And, like, that's not me just saying that. Like, you wouldn't know. And so, like, I feel like that could be, like, a much harder thing to deal with. Because it's like this, it's more of like this,
but it is a secret.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Yeah, well, and maybe I had just convinced myself that it wasn't a secret anymore, right? Like, because I had that moment too where it was like, I used to think like I used to keep my shirt on when I would go swimming when I was fat because I thought it would hide my body, and it's like, look, there's no secret there, Zach. Like, everybody could see you're big, right? Mm-hmm. So I think that like that was the same kind of thing I thought with my skin. But I mean, I had people that told me like, oh, I would have no idea that you used to weigh 400 pounds. Mm-hmm. And I was always like, really? Okay. Like, are you sure about that? Because I obviously have loose skin.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I could definitely see it as something very hard if it's something you're, like, almost ashamed of, too, right? If it's something you don't want somebody else to find out about you. That could be rough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, 100%, dude. Like, it is... I think, like, that's why I feel really lucky that I've been able to be so honest and open about it, is because, like, it's made it less of this big secret, but there are so many people, and, like, I get messages from them every day of people that, like, it really is this, like, very, very seriously scary, and like to a point where it gives them like huge anxiety and like all this stuff. And I just feel for that because I totally understand like where you would be coming from with that, you know?
The unfortunate thing is too, is that it's ridiculous. And that if you were looking at literally anybody else with your exact same body, you would think they looked fine. You would be attracted to them. You would be like, yeah, they look good. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But when it's your own body, you think you look terrible. And it's just because we don't see ourselves as a whole person. We see ourselves as a collection of all the things we like about ourselves and all the things we hate about ourselves. And a lot of the times we just get hyper-focused on all the things we hate about ourselves, and we don't realize that everybody else kind of sees us as this whole entity, and they don't really see like, oh, Zach has loose skin, he's gross. It's like, oh no, Zach's a cool guy, I like him.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. Like, we, as humans, we focus on our insecurities the most, right? Like, that's what we think people see, and that's what we think. That's the only thing we think people see. Or like, even as someone with loose skin and knowing other people that have loose skin, like, I will, take a picture, and I might be able to see my loose skin a little bit, but I know that most people probably wouldn't even see it, right? But it's like, it's just such a normal thing for people to like look at the one thing that they're insecure about. Maybe it's an eyebrow or whatever. Like, but it's like that's all they can see, and they're like, "Oh, my eyebrow looks so terrible," and I need to like, I can't post this picture. When in reality, most people wouldn't even see the fact that your eyebrow's jacked up or like whatever it is. Like, it's just that's what we always focus on as humans, I think.
Yep, and it'll always be something too. You know, even if you try and fix whatever you think is your biggest insecurity, most of the time you'll find something else to pick apart at, you know? And so it really is kind of something you have to work on, is like accepting your own body and like working on thinking about, wait a second here, removing yourself from yourself and being like, would this bother me if it was somebody else with my body? That's what I always do. And I always think like, man, Zach, you beat yourself up so much, but if anybody else looked like you would be like, that guy looks jacked.
Yeah.
That guy looks awesome. You know what I mean? But when I look at myself, I'm like, man, you look like crap.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely, like, I mean, we're our own worst critics, like, without a doubt. Like, it's...
lie to ourselves.
Yeah, 100%. And we'll be like, this doesn't look good on me, or that, like, this looks terrible, or I can't wear this. Like, for like something as simple as, like, right now I'm wearing the high top Vans that I bought. Right, I made a whole post about these. I just did like a kick behind my head. But like for a long time, and still to this day, sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't like how these look. They make me look like I have fat ankles. Like when no one is looking at my ankles and thinking that dude has some fat ankles. Like, yeah, but like it's just what I focus on, because it's something that I know for myself I'm kind of insecure about. And so if like someone were to say, it's just like it's like anything. It could be skin. It can be anything. But I do think, okay. So I do want to talk a little bit more about loose skin. There was something. So we were kind of going down that road of like you'll find something else that you're not happy about. And so we kind of talked. I'm not sure if it was a video that we did or if it was just like in person we were talking about it, but it was like getting loose skin surgery and thinking that it's going to be some magic bullet that's going to make you happy with everything, and now I have no problems and everything's good. So I'm kind of curious, like what it was like that, like did you struggle with that at all, like thinking, oh, when I get this loose skin surgery, bam, everything's gonna be good, I'm gonna love my body and I'm gonna feel 100% like I have a perfect body kind of thing? No, I definitely did not think that at all.
When I got the skin surgery, I was mostly concerned about getting rid of my man boobs and just clothes fitting me better, more so than anything. And because I knew, right? I did research. I looked at pictures and stuff. I'm like, you're gonna have scars. You're not gonna look like you never had like something done, right?
Yeah.
And so I was pretty realistic with myself in that sense. But I would say that I am a lot less insecure about like my body now than I was before. You know what I mean? Like now I have scars. They're pretty light in some areas. And honestly, I don't think if you saw me out of the corner of your eye, you would give me a second look. Whereas with all my loose skin before, I definitely did get looks. Like,
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, I would notice people actually like staring at me. But you know, I mean, I don't blame people, but it definitely happened, and it definitely does happen a lot less now.
Yeah.
And who knows? Who knows? I could be biased because I could just be less aware of it now because I'm more confident in the way I feel with my shirt off. Who knows?
No, I think that's a good point that what you just brought up. Like, a lot of it could be, the fact that you are just more confident, and so you kind of just don't care. You're like, I don't give a heck, you know? Like,
well, I'm not looking for things to confirm my insecurities anymore.
Yeah.
Where before you would look around to see if anybody was looking at you because you were insecure with your shirt off. Where now I'm not as insecure, so I don't care if somebody looks at me, but I don't think anybody's going to look at me either. So I don't need to be aware of it.
Yeah.
So I think that definitely plays a big part, and that's why I think you should, if you're gonna get a skin removal, do it if you think that your own self-confidence is gonna be higher, because it did boost my confidence. It did boost my self-esteem, and I am more comfortable with my shirt off now. And so it was definitely worth it to me, but I could also see how it could be a dangerous path of like, well, you know, because I did now like I look at my thighs and I'm like, man, should I get my thighs done?
Yeah.
You know, and it's just kind of like, okay, I never really worried about my thighs before, but now I got my other skin that I was the most insecure about off, and now the next in line is like my thighs basically.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like, I don't know, that's something I think about too, like, because like, say if I were to ever get the surgery, I say the surgery, but most likely it wouldn't be one surgery, you know? And
mine was technically one. They did it in one shot, but it was like 2 different procedures.
yeah, so yours, because you got the 360, right? And then the
Yeah. I got a 360 and the chest removal, but they did it all at the same time.
but like imagine doing that and then also your legs at the same time. Like, do you think that
No, they wouldn't do that.
they wouldn't do it, right?
No. They barely did mine. Like he was literally performing surgery on me for 11 hours.
Jeez, dude, that's crazy. 11
Yeah.
hours?
Yeah, like he didn't have time to do anything else.
Yeah.
I was his whole day.
Dude, could you imagine like being a surgeon and like literally being inside someone's body for 11 hours? Like,
They said they didn't even go to the bathroom.
jeez, dude. Like, I can't even imagine that, because like it's like one thing like, oh, I've been working for 11 hours, but it's like if you mess up, it's like no one notices. But like if that dude messes up in you, like you might die. Like it's like,
I know, man.
jeez.
That was honestly, like, I'm not gonna lie, I was terrified
Yeah.
to get the surgery. I was so scared. I never had surgery in my life.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I got my tonsils out when I was like 4, but I was terrified,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought about running away the day before my surgery. I was like, all right, Zach, you could just lose your deposit. If you just leave and go get a hotel room somewhere, you could just disappear for one day, miss your appointment, show up the day after, and just be like, yeah, sorry, guys.
Mm-hmm.
And it went through my mind, but then I was like, no, Zach, don't do it. You already spent money.
Yeah.
If I didn't take a deposit, though, I don't know. I probably would have talked myself out of it.
I think you would have ended up probably getting it, but like,
I don't know, man.
I
was
wonder,
pretty scared.
has that ever happened? Did you, like, do you know if your surgeon has ever dealt with that before?
Oh, yeah, people back out. Yeah.
But I mean,
People
like,
back out.
day of backing out, like running away.
Yeah, because I mentioned it to him that I was scared. Yeah, but yeah, he said he's had no shows. He's had people call the morning of. Yeah.
Jeez, dude, that would like, oh, imagine being the surgeon and like, that would be. I wonder if they'd be like, all right, cool, day off work, or like, you know,
Yeah, I don't know. I think they would be not good because they don't have all their money yet. Like, you just put your deposit, which is like 10%, but
Mm-hmm.
they still have like a lot of money that they're missing out on that they were expecting to make that day, I guess. So
Mm-hmm.
I guess it would be. I mean, if it's one of those days though where you're like, man, I really don't want to go to work, I guess it could be.
Yeah,
a good thing.
could be a good thing. Jeez, dude. Well, thanks so much for hanging out and
Of course,
you know,
man, anytime.
talking about your loose skin. I recorded a good amount of it, but then I was getting annoyed that the stream was not working correctly, so I was like, I guess I should just stop this, because I thought I was going to stop the stream, but it kept kind of like working and then not working and then working and then not working. So I might upload the part that I did record. I'm not
You
sure.
can upload whatever you want.
Yeah,
baby.
we'll see. I don't exactly remember what I had recorded, what I didn't.
Yeah. And if not, like, if people really want to know more, we've done a few videos, my
Yeah.
channel, your channel. You know.
Yeah, I
can
mean-
find Loose Skin Talks with us.
I think, yeah, you're definitely the who I've talked to the most about this stuff, and I think
Yeah.
for good reason. Like, you're the most open, and it's like it's I understand that it's such a sensitive topic, so I'm not gonna bring someone on that I don't know that well, that might not be
Right.
as incredibly comfortable talking about it as you are. And so it's like with you, it's like, again, obviously your experience is only yours, so it's not like you can be like, I know everything about loose skin. But still, you obviously have a lot more knowledge about surgery than I do. So
Yeah, no, and that's honestly like it. I feel like it needs to be out there. You know, like it. That was the main reason I even started, my social media, was the fact that I was like, wow, there's not that many dudes on here for one, and there's not that many dudes that were over 400 pounds. And it's like now there's not that many guys that have had loose skin surgery that are willing to even like talk about it so openly. And I'm like, there's people out there that are struggling, that are insecure, that have questions and stuff about this stuff, and like, why would I like hold all this information from them, right? Like, it's like, come on now, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I think for guys especially, like guys have this whole like, I need to be a macho man, don't talk about any, like a lot of times you won't even see guys talk about them getting surgery in any capacity. Right. I don't know, that's something I've kind of noticed. Taboo. You know, yeah.
It is. Weight loss and plastic surgery both, I think, are kind of taboo for men because they're kind of seen as like a feminine thing. I don't think they should be at all.
Yeah.
Obviously, but I think that might be it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, for me personally, like I know that like when it came to something like my chest, something that I was so insecure about my whole entire life, like I didn't have people that could relate to that at all. Like growing up, like I didn't have other people that had man boobs like me, and so it's like it's so nice that now that there's these communities that we can like be a part of, that we can help other people that were in those same situations as us, that to not feel so alone and to not have all these questions and like not have to sit there and wonder like how things are going to happen or how things will turn out for them. We could be like, well, this is what happened for me, so maybe this will be what happens for you too,
Yeah, it's again, like I mean, I talk about it a lot, and like people whenever I do, people get, they get in their feels and like, you talk about this too much, blah blah blah, but I'm like, dude, no one else really talks about it. And if they do, and I'm glad that they even do anything, but like if they do, they make one post or they talk about it one time, and then they feel like, okay, I've talked about it. And it's like, dude,
what
like,
are you supposed to talk about? Like, what else is there to talk about? Like, we are here to help people with weight loss and everything that has to do with health and fitness and weight loss. Like, that's what our content is for. That's what our brand is. Like, what else would we talk about?
Yeah.
Like, come on now.
and it's like, well, the thing is like people, I think they've seen me make videos and they think, well, you've said everything there is to say. But like the thing is that like people like me and other people that, yeah, well, and the people that maybe don't lose, maybe don't get the surgery, like you live with loose skin every day. It's not like it just goes away. I've talked about it. Oh, okay, now everything's cool. Like your thoughts about it change. I don't know. Like it's weird that people get this way about like loose skin, but they want to get that way about, I don't know, if someone talked about something else, they're not like, this is all you talk about. It's like, well, yeah, it's a big part of my life, man. Like,
I think it's like a bigger problem with content creators, right? Is a lot of people will follow somebody for years and be like, John, you've talked about loose skin how many times now? And you're like, yeah, but you started following me when I had 100,000 subscribers. I now have close to 700,000. So there's 600,000 people that potentially have never heard me say this. And I am here to help every one of my followers. Yeah. So I'm sorry if you've heard this before, but if you've heard this before, this obviously isn't targeted at you.
Yeah, and that's simple, that's so true, man.
It's not for you.
Or
so being so selfish, it's obviously for somebody else.
Or when I make a video that talks about like TDEE and people are like, you've said this so many times. It's like, well, yeah, but like there's thousands of people that don't know this, and also I literally get this question every single day. So it's like there's obviously still people that don't know. You know.
Well, and it's like, how many people follow you based off of like let's say they looked up something about loose skin, right? They've never heard about TDEE ever in their life. They don't go through every single one of your old videos once they find one of your videos, but they subscribe to your channel. You make a new video about TDEE, it pops up on their feed. Now they know about TDEE. You know what I mean? Like that's how this stuff works on the internet. Like, you can't assume everybody knows already.
Yeah.
Just because you
Dude,
said it
yes.
6 months ago. like obviously there are people that have found me and my content within that 6 months, and they need to know still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's what I mean, it's so true, man. And I think a lot of people, especially people that like have maybe like followed other fitness people or whatever, maybe been in fitness for a while, they don't realize like how uninformed the regular person is coming off the street that has never cared about their health and fitness. Like, and I don't say that in a condescending way, because that was me, you know, like that was me when I first started trying to lose weight. And so it's like, I know what that person is like, and I know how much they know and don't know. And so, yes, I have a lot of knowledge, and I could talk to someone that has a lot more knowledge and have a good conversation and talk about, I don't know, like higher level things or whatever, however you want to call it. But like, also, there are thousands of people that literally, if we had that conversation, they'd be like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And so we have to like help those people get to that point.
Yeah. Exactly. And it's weird, because I think another thing that happens is when it comes to weight loss focused content, we're focused on beginners pretty much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and so the information we have to repeat and over and over again is basic information. So I get why people grow out of it, but it's like, there's only so much you can say about this stuff. You know, it's not the most complex, in-depth type thing. And if you feel like I'm repeating myself too much and I'm repeating too much stuff that you know already, you know, then you don't really need help with losing weight anymore, you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
well, and that's the thing is, and I think like this is another thing that kind of happens is like the information, it doesn't change. And like what you should do doesn't change. And it hasn't changed since I've been making videos. And I've never switched like how I feel. But that is something that people do. They're like, oh wow, this isn't hitting anymore. I'm gonna switch up and make this and talk about this, right? Like let's oh gosh. don't I'm gonna get attacked. But like for me, like on a personal level, right? My videos, I was not super happy with making the same like vlogs or the same this is how you lose weight videos. So yes, I started making commentary videos talking about certain things. Like for me, that was how I was able to grow and still talk about weight loss and still talk about the things that I'm passionate about, but it was no longer me, you know, making the same stuff over and over again. So I was able to talk about different things. But it was still, you know what I mean? Because like if you're talking about, like that's something that I always like kind of get worried about people that gain a big following as they are losing weight, because a lot of them, they lose the weight and then they're like, well, what do I do now? Like what kind of content do I make now? And you don't know what to do. Like you literally don't know what to do. And there's a lot of people that struggle with that. And so for me, it was like, and it wasn't even like it was like this thing that I was like, oh, I need to figure this out. Like it has to happen. It just kind of naturally did. And I was like, oh, this is cool. Like people like this. And I like making these types of videos. It wasn't like this whole, like I had this scheme in my brain that I had to like think up. Like it just kind of happened. But like, it's like almost a hindsight thing. Now that I look back on it, I can think, oh, that makes sense why I decided to go, to like make different types of things. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's something I've noticed.
Coaching, honestly, because that was, you know, like in the beginning, you're so selfish with everything you're learning, right? Mm-hmm. You're learning it for yourself. You're learning it so you can lose weight. Then you lose the weight, and especially after, if you've amassed a following, I totally get what you mean. You could sit there and like, well, wait a second, what now? I lost all the weight. What do I do now? And that's why I started coaching, because it was like, my passion is helping people with this, right? Mm-hmm. And so it's like, for me, it's not about my weight loss journey anymore. It's about how can I use my weight loss journey to inspire other people and help other people. Mm. And so that's, I see what you mean though, where it's like, where you're like, as a YouTuber, you know, there's only so formative videos you can do before you really are kind of just repeating the same thing over and over and over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's like, you don't want to go down that road, because it just you like if you get to a point where you really feel like burnt out, or you feel like, man, what's the point? Like people get like jaded, and it can get really bad, where people almost get like upset with their like followers or the people that follow them that have literally changed their life. They're like annoyed with them because all they want is XYZ content and they don't want to make that anymore. And so for me, it's like it wasn't like I had the conscious thought of like, I need to do this or I won't be able to make videos anymore. It kind of just happened. But I think that's a big reason why it has happened, is because, again, you can't just, like, I will always talk about weight loss and I will always talk about that stuff. But like, I also want to talk about other things as well, you know, but they're always connected in some way. And I think that's, you know, that, I don't know, it just kind of has happened that way.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, like, it's the same thing with me. You know, I really try not to latch my identity onto too many things, but I mean, weight loss is a huge part of my life. Like, same with you. Like, to say it's not, it is a lie. You know, it's what our jobs are. It's like, it's our lives. And so to try and like kind of move away from that, it's hard. And like, it's also weird when that's almost what you feel like is expected of you from other people. And when it becomes something that's not quite as big a part of your life anymore, but people are expecting it to be your whole life still, I can see why some people can like start to build that resentment where they're like, well, no, that's not like my whole life.
Yeah, I agree. Like people, I've had people literally like mad at me. Like they'll come into these streams and I'll be like, I don't know, playing a video game, just kind of messing around. And they'll like literally comment like, less games, more weight loss. And it's like, dog, if you don't want to watch it, you don't have to watch it. Like I'm not forcing anyone to. But it's like, just to like put someone in a box that you can only talk about this thing. Right. And that's it. It's like, dude, come on, man. Like people are more than just one thing. And like,
well, something I've realized just with age and maturity is like, if I don't like something, it's not because it's necessarily bad. It's just because it's not for me. And so it's like, if people don't like you watching video games, if people don't like watching your content outside of the context of weight loss, then it's just not for them and they just shouldn't watch it. Like, I don't get why people are so like entitled to your content and they want you to tailor it exactly the way they want it. It's like, well, it's not for you.
Yeah.
You know?
This is, speaking on that, this is kind of totally changing this. If you need, whenever you need to leave, just let me know. But someone asked a question, Ellen, she's always in the live stream. She said, can we talk about plateaus? I'm stuck at the moment. How can I kick off some loss again? I've worked out my TDE. I was doing 2,000 calories a day. I dropped it to 1,800 to try and boost some loss and upped activity with zero result. And then she also said, maybe I just need to be more patient. So she kind of, I think that she knows where I was going to go because she's in the Discord and she hears me talk to people all the time about this stuff. Yeah. But I mean, that's probably what I would say. Well, the next question I would have asked is, well, how long have you been eating that, you know, those calories? Because it's hard, like, so plateaus, but I think it's a good question just in general, like plateaus, especially, I've noticed this, especially for people that are like, losing a lot of weight because of how, I don't want to say easy, but I mean, how relatively easy the weight comes off at first, right? If you're losing massive, like 200 something pounds, maybe even 100, like those first 20 pounds will happen relatively easily compared to the last 20 pounds, right? And so I think people get very used to their weight coming off in a specific, or like in the amount every week is the same. But like if you're 300 pounds and you are eating at, you know, whatever, 2,000 calories, that's going to be a significant deficit when you're 300 pounds. But if you are, you know, now you've lost 75 pounds and now you're 225 pounds, that deficit, it might not even be a deficit anymore. And if it is, it might be a very small deficit.
Yeah. Well, from my experience in coaching now, I've calculated people's calories a lot. Mm-hmm. I have calculated people's calories after a good amount of weight loss too, a lot. The amount of calories that changes is not that much. It's not as drastic as you think.
Mm-hmm.
Losing 50 pounds, if you're in a true 500 calorie deficit, you'll still be in a deficit after you've lost 50 pounds.
Yeah.
You won't be in a deficit to lose a pound a week anymore, but you'll still be in a deficit.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of what you want to watch for, is your rate of weight loss, right? Because that's what you want to base your deficit off of. But I mean, honestly, sometimes the scale isn't going to move even though you're losing fat behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I always tell my clients. And that's what always happens when any of my clients hit a plateau. I'm like, just stick with it, you know, maybe put the scale away for a little bit because it's not giving you any sort of feedback at all. And then just focus purely on your actions.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually,
you keep
your
talking.
weight
My camera's about to die. Just keep.
Yeah, eventually
keep
your
talking.
weight loss is going to show up. It always shows up. It will stall out. I've seen it stall out for 6 weeks with a client before, and then they lost 8 pounds in 1 week. So it's still happening because your weight, unfortunately, the number that shows up on the scale isn't just your fat mass. Isn't just, you know, it doesn't just tell you whether you lost fat or gained fat. It tells you how much, you know, you weigh in total. And there's so many factors that can change what you weigh in total that I honestly don't really like the scale as a metric for weight loss. Like, I think pictures and measurements and like the way your clothes fit are such a better metric than weight is.
Yeah.
Weight is a good one over time, month to month. But I mean, if you're actually concerned about what you weigh day to day, you're gonna drive yourself crazy.
Yeah, especially if you put a lot of stock in those numbers, like the day-to-day numbers. It's just like, I think it's fine if you can weigh yourself every day and it doesn't turn into this big thing, then go for it. But like, if it is causing you a bunch of harm every time you see like your body go up a couple pounds, oh man, like maybe don't weigh yourself every single day. But again, like it's like with anything, like with weight loss and stuff, it just depends on the person. Like, it's not.
It really does.
Like,
it really does.
There's no, you have to do this. This is the only way. And if you don't do it this way, normally if people are saying that, they're trying to sell you something. Is what I found out.
Thing, you know, like, and that's like something I've learned from coaching experience. Like, what I do for every client ends up being different because what you have to do depends on you personally.
Mm-hmm.
I have some clients that weigh themselves every day. I have some that don't weigh themselves ever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I personally don't weigh myself anymore. I hop on the scale every couple of weeks just to see where I'm at out of curiosity. But I know that for me, I use the scale as something that would tell me if I was doing good or not, even though I know whether I'm doing good or not. You know, I know whether I'm eating what I should be or not. You know, so why do I need the scale to tell me whether I'm making progress or not when I already know if I did the things I needed to do or not? Like, those are the things that actually matter, not that it's some arbitrary number.
Yeah. Yeah, Ellen said, I weigh in weekly, but I'm not super fixated on it, but it's hard when you stop seeing it move. Yeah, I mean,
definitely.
I totally understand that. And it's not like we're saying you shouldn't worry about it and you should be all of these things that we're saying are easier said than done. And I totally understand that.
And we are coming from a place of so much more knowledge and confidence in our weight loss abilities, right? I cannot hop on the scale and not worry about what the scale says because I know there's no question in my mind. If I want to lose weight, I know I can lose weight. Mm-hmm. And I know what to do to lose weight. But if I had any sort of doubt in my mind, you know, you're not confident in all of your actions. You kind of need that scale to tell you, like, oh no, you are on track still. You are still doing the things you need to be doing. Mm-hmm. If you're second guessing yourself, you know, and me and you, we've just gotten to a point where we've been doing this for so long, we don't really need that feedback anymore to tell us whether we're still making the progress we want to or not.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a lot of stuff when it comes to weight loss, and I've said this many times, but it's simple, but that doesn't mean that it's easy. Like
Yeah.
a lot of the stuff you might have to do is relatively simple. It's not like you have to like enter all these things and you have to do this and there's this step and then there's this, there's that. But like the things that you do have to do might not be that easy, right? Being in a deficit sounds simple, but like it's not like just being in a deficit. Okay, have fun, especially if it's like someone that's dealing with a food addiction or whatever it might be, a million different things.
Well, it's kind of like, you know, making $1 million is as simple as just making $1 million.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
There really is nothing more to making $1 million.
Just
than
make more than you spin, dude.
Exactly, right? And so it's like, well, yeah, obviously 2 + 2 = 4, but there's a lot of work and there's a lot of steps in between that are kind of difficult.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%, dude. Like, I 1000% agree. I think I'm going to play some Fall Guys. Do you want to play?
Yeah, I'll hop on.
Yes. All right, let me move all these things over.
All right, I'm gonna go refill my water real quick.
All right, go refill your water.
All right,
I'll hang
everybody
out.
Drink your water.
I'll hang out with the peeps. Zach has turned into the co-host of the live streams, you guys. Whenever I say I'm going to play a video game, everyone leaves. It makes me so sad. It's okay, you guys. I still love you. Zach is, like I've said before, when I say it, I don't lie. He is one of my favorite people on the planet, so we're homies for sure. I'm glad that you guys like Fall Guys because I really enjoy playing it. It's because of how wonderful you play. They're all jealous. So cool seeing my input on a video. Well, I'm glad that you enjoy it. It's kind of boring watching other people play video games. Not everyone agrees with that. I like your glasses, dude. Put me on. These are really old. I got these. I think they're called Diff. Yeah, DIFF is the eyewear brand, and the type of glasses is Ridley. So,
All right.
are you ready to game it up, dude?
Yeah, I'm ready to.
Okay,
play
so
early a bunch of times because
so
you can't
yeah,
play
you'll
first
you're
level.
gonna have to you'll have to deal with how much I suck. So do I go on Steam and then we like start from there or what?
Oh, okay, yeah. So just open up your Steam and you go to your library,
Okay.
and then you just go to Fall Guys like normally. You just open up Fall Guys normally, bro.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know.
No, I know. You're good.
I'm learning, you guys. All right.
All good, my dude.
This is definitely my favorite game to play right now.
It's
Also-
a fun game.
Me and Zach got we got Borderlands 3. I'm not sure if we're gonna play that on stream, but we will play it. All right. Yes, I figured it out.
I'll stream it.
Yeah. Okay.
There you go.
I don't know what this game is. I'm old. Well, it's a pretty new it's a pretty new game, so yeah, it literally just came out. And I saw people playing it and I was like, that looks so stupid. So I want to play it. Oh, I'm not even showing people the game. Nice.
So much fun.
Thank you. Great information. See you next time. Thanks for coming and hanging out, Christine. Maybe I was thinking we can try and answer some questions or talk about like weight loss stuff as we're playing.
I'm totally down if you ask them because I don't have a second screen.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, I got it. So if anyone has questions, I'll try and answer them as I'm playing. All right. Here we go. I did better on this one. I was playing this yesterday when I wasn't streaming because I was like I was trying to get on Zach level. Yeah, baby. Made it through.
Nice.
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Bum, 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 bum. Heck yeah, man.
Oh man.
Let's go. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Oh no, I fell. All right, it's okay. Just gotta make it through. All right, just spin me around. There we go. We're all good.
Yeah, you doing good, John?
Yeah.
All right, sweet. We might actually make it to level 2.
Heck yeah, we will, bro. Oh, I just got tripped up. Come on. You can do it, little man. Yes, baby. Oh, we're making it. Woo! Yes. I don't even get the purpose of this game. You basically are trying to get to the end before other people do, and then you don't get kicked out. It's like a battle royale almost, but with mini games.
Yeah. There's a lot of purposes of this game.
It's so much fun, man. It's addicting. It really is.
It is.
Sarah asked if you ever had imposter syndrome from being an influencer.
I have imposter syndrome for absolutely every single thing I do in my life. I don't even feel like a real person.
Yeah, I feel you on that. Imposter syndrome's huge, man, especially in like when you are someone that like has lost weight and has a big at least I believe. Like if you're someone that has a big following because you've lost weight, it's hard because obviously you were doing things that got you to a really high weight.
Yeah.
You know? So imposter syndrome is like feeling basically like you're an imposter in the things that like you might be a professional hockey player and there will be people that have imposter syndrome that think I suck at hockey.
Yeah, well, I do too, honestly, with like coaching sometimes because I'm like, well, all this information out there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, yeah, but some people just need someone to deliver the information. Some people need someone to help them with the accountability of the information, you know? But
Yeah, I'm getting. Oh, I just got yeeted so hard. Oh my goodness. Oh my god.
I mean, luckily, like as a weight loss influencer, it's like the thing that kind of qualifies us to be a weight loss influencer is weight loss. And like that's one thing I definitely don't feel like an imposter, right? Like I feel like that's one thing that like is a very definite thing in my life. Like I definitely lost a lot of weight. Like
Yeah, that's. Yeah, I would say it's less about feeling like you less about feeling like an imposter about like I haven't actually lost weight, but it's like it's hard to feel like should people actually listen to what I have to say. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, I never felt like that. Because I've always been a person that values someone's opinion that can relate to me over somebody who can't, right? And so for me, I'm like, well, no, if anything, I would value my opinion more than anybody else.
I got eliminated.
I did too, don't worry, bro.
Oh, okay.
The person right before we got it.
I need to turn down the game because they're saying they can barely hear you.
Oh, I can turn myself up in Discord. I'll make it easy.
Well, I think I should turn down the game anyways
Okay.
because it is kind of loud. So
Alright.
I'll do that. But if you want to turn yourself up a little bit, I think that'll be fine too.
Yeah, no,
Okay, settings, audio. There we go. Okay, that should be better. Whoa, oh. What just happened? What's going on? It just kicked me out of the game.
What?
It just kicked me out of the game. 1 second. I'm turning it back on. Maybe it didn't kick me out, and maybe I pressed the wrong button. It remains to be seen.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Hits exit, blames game. Ryan, leave me alone. You know nothing of what you speak of.
Man, this was so weird. This button that says exit kicks me out of the game. I don't know what happened.
I forgot I can't lie because people can just see what I'm doing. So.
Oh man.
Bro, why you always look so fresh? I just like the plain vanilla sprinkles guy, you know?
Yeah, man. Yes. I like customizing my guy.
All right, again, if anyone has questions, ask, and we'll try and talk about them. And it's kind of fun trying to talk about something that has nothing to do with this game because it makes it harder. But I don't know. It's like an extra
so
challenge.
I think that's why I lost last round.
Yeah, because like the game looks like it's stupid and super simple, and it should be super easy, but like it's not.
It's definitely not.
Any advice for people who lose their appetite when they're depressed? I know eating too infrequently isn't good for your metabolism. Ooh, that's I struggle with like talking about stuff like that just because I don't know. Like, I'm definitely not a therapist or anything like that, so I don't.
Yeah, I lose my appetite due to my when I'm manic or when I'm depressed. Honestly, like it happens when I'm manic more so than when I'm depressed. But I just eat more calorie-dense foods.
Yeah.
Because honestly, like when I lose my appetite, only specific things sound good. So then it's like, okay, well, since I'm probably only gonna eat once today anyway, I'll just eat whatever specifically sounds good to me, and then that doesn't really put me over ever.
Yeah. For me, I would say it's definitely like if I'm feeling kind of like extra sad about something, or like depressed, I guess. I don't want to just say like it's sad,
Yeah,
but
well, that's what I was like gonna say. I'm like, I don't know, like me being extra sad is like a little bit different.
yeah, but like if I am feeling like I'm feeling like a little bit depressed, I definitely am less hungry. So like if I'm in a really bad place to where it's like for me, if I'm really like just like depressed, like let's be real, I will go and be somewhere alone and I won't eat a single thing.
Wow.
So like for me, I don't know. Luckily, the thing that's hard is for me that doesn't happen super often. Oh, dang it. I was doing well. Oh, were you? Yeah. So like it doesn't happen super often to where it's like a thing that I'm like, oh, this happens really, really often and I need to be
like
super aware of it. But it definitely, like, if it did happen really often, it would be something that I would be like, you have to be really careful about this thing. Oh, we're gonna make it through, baby. Yes.
Oh, I'm not gonna make it. I don't know.
John described depression as extra sad. Does this mean our John is sad normally? No, the reason I said it like that was, I don't know. I struggle with, I don't want people to think that I'm like discrediting like depression. It's that the reason I said it like that was, and then I corrected myself, was because it's not just being extra sad is what I was trying to say. It's much more than just being sad.
I know what you mean, because it's like for me personally, there's a difference for when I'm just like in a bad mood, sad, and I'm just like feeling poopy, you know? And then there's a difference when I'm like, oh no, you're depressed. You know, normally when I'm feeling poopy, there's reasons. You know what I mean? I'm just like, life's not really going my way lately.
Mm-hmm.
But like depression is a whole different beast, because you're like, wait, no, life is going your way. Why do you feel like this?
Yeah.
There's no reason for this, Zach.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, those are kind of the times too where it's like you lose your appetite, and then honestly though, like for me, like I said, it's honestly the opposite for me. When I get really depressed, I tend to eat more. Unless I'm sad about something real, right? Like if something traumatic happens in my life, I completely lose my appetite. It's weird.
Someone said, Zach, how has quarantine impacted weight loss / maintenance for you? And she says, hope you're both doing well.
Oh man, it has impacted it both positively and negatively at different times. Honestly, like at first I was killing it and it was like super easy. Then I started getting kind of like depressed and in a funk, because like I'm just outgoing, man. I'm so sick of being at home all the time and not
Yeah.
being able to do things. Like, it's driving me nuts.
Yeah.
And
It's
then not having the gym was really rough.
yeah, dude, that's a big one, man.
Yeah, and so it was like, okay, well, you kind of like, all the things that made you happy you don't do anymore. You don't go see your friends, you don't go see your family, you don't go to the gym. So it was rough for a little bit there, but, you know, like, I feel like it's just like, you just have to establish a new normal for yourself. And then things get a little bit easier.
Barely made it.
In terms of weight loss, it's been good, honestly. Like, it's...
For me, it was like, there's been like levels, man. Like, I remember at the start, I was like, dog, I'm going to crush it. Like, this is whatever. I'm going to get through this. Like, we're good. And then it was like, the high of that kind of wore off. And I was like, dog, I am so, and I say dog a lot for everyone, whatever. Okay. It's just how I talk. People always make fun of me. But like this one, then at some point I was like, dude, I'm just sick of this. Like, this is getting to a point where I'm just so frustrated with it. All right, are we on the same team? All right, cool.
Yeah.
Red team.
Well,
But yeah,
happened with me too. Where it was
Yeah.
like, at first it was cool to like have all this time to myself to like be selfish and focus on like just me and what I wanted to do, and you know. But then it was like, well, now what I want to do is be outside with my friends.
yeah,
You know. And so it definitely had layers. You know, like at first it was like I was super motivated, like you said, and then I was not motivated at all. And then I went back to being pretty motivated again.
yeah. Yeah, it was definitely like, it was, like I said, yeah, it was like layers, man. It was, oh yeah, we got this, baby.
Into the blue team, man.
Woo, crushed it. But yeah, it was like, I was good with it, and I was like, this is gonna be an interesting thing to get through. I remember like I made videos at the start, like how to lose weight during quarantine and blah blah blah. But then it was like, and I was super excited. But then it got to a point where I was like, man, this is really, really hard. And I think like in California, I know you're in California too, like we weren't able to do anything for a long time. And then they opened gyms, and that was like exciting. But then, oh, this one's freaking hard.
I love this one.
But then it was like they closed everything down again, and that was really hard.
Yeah.
And so there's been like, it's just, I don't know, there's been
For me, like nothing ever really opened. Like,
yeah.
Even once the gyms opened again, I was just like, like I already had the home gym. And then, like, I don't know, man. I've always just been basing like, you know, what I do off of like the numbers. And I'm like, wait a second. If the numbers are worse, then how come everything's open when they closed everything when things were not this bad? Okay, that makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
it was.
maybe they're not opening it because it's safe for us to open. They're opening it.
I think that's been one of the. I think that's been one of the hardest things, is not understanding exactly. Oh, I'm gonna die. Oh, I barely made it through. Ooh. Oh snap. Oh no. Oh, dude, I'm on the cusp every time right now. Oh wait, jump. Jeez.
You got this, bro.
I'm like focusing. It's hard. I'm focusing on other things right now. I'm like trying to have a good conversation and be like insightful.
Right.
Oh,
I don't know. Like, I've had asthma my whole life, so I'm really not messing around. And like, honestly, Robbie getting sick and getting pneumonia, and having to go to the hospital twice, that made me.
That was pretty
scared,
wild
honestly.
because Robbie's our friend, and he is a very.
He's healthier than me.
He is a very fit dude.
He is healthier than I will ever be in my entire life, and if it can get him like that, I do not feel confident. You know.
Yeah. 100%,
I've seen what
dude.
he eats. I've seen his lifestyle, man. When he's on vacation, you know.
Yeah.
I know I don't eat better than him. I know I don't take care of my body better than he does. I know.
I died. Jeez.
Few people take care of their body as good as he does. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah. Yeah. Seriously, like he. Yeah, that was definitely
teacher. He's a conditioning coach. Like,
Did you make it through that one or no?
no, I didn't.
Oh. Okay, good. We both died at the same time.
Yeah, I was the second person to fall.
Oh, were you?
Yeah,
Hey, I did all right that time. I've never gotten that far on that one.
I know.
Let's see. Any tips on how to lose those final few pounds? I have six pounds left to lose, but I can't seem to lose them. Sorry, I'm just waiting to get out. I have to wait for it to start. So with like, when it comes to the last little bit, a lot of times, so a question I will normally ask is like, do you need to lose that? Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, and like, what about the 6 pounds? Like is the 6 pounds like gonna hit the like goal number you had in mind? Is 6 pounds like what you think you're gonna look the best at?
Yeah.
But honestly, and how much weight have you lost?
Mm-hmm.
Like the last 6, you know, when you've lost, when you have 20 pounds to lose is a bit different, I'd say, than the last 6 when you've lost 100 pounds already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's hard to say because it's like so like individual based, right?
Yeah. But like with that, what I would say is that like if you're like, no, I definitely, and I don't want to sit here and say like you shouldn't lose that weight. I can't tell. But like it's the same things that you should do when you're trying to lose. Like it's just everything is much more intense. Like I think about when I did my physique show, like there was no messing up. Like it was like I had to be very meticulous with everything that I was doing.
Yeah.
And
I mean, even then too, like you had a date, right? Like
yeah.
If you don't have a specific time frame that you have to lose this 6 pounds by, like
why? Yeah. Why? Don't
stress yourself out like that.
And
you know?
you shouldn't, honestly.
Right. So you don't have to be that strict. You know what I would say is base 1%. So let's say, for example, you're 160 pounds right now, and you want to lose 6 more pounds. Shoot for 1 to 1.5 pounds a week. Which obviously to place your deficit at 1 to 1.5 pounds a week, that is 500 to a 750 calorie deficit per day.
Mm-hmm.
Stick with that for a month or so, and guess what? 6 pounds is gone.
Dog, I'm stuck at one of the first seesaws because they put me on one that literally it was like that was so ridiculous, dude. That was BS.
And I know I made it like sound simple there. It's not that simple.
Yeah.
You know, because there's so many psychological factors that come into play. Because you're gonna be second guessing yourself, and you're gonna be worried, and this and that and this. But just put the scale away for a while. Focus purely on just hitting your numbers with your diet, and it'll go away.
Yeah.
It'll go eventually.
It's,
you know,
if you're doing the right thing, right, and like for the right thing, but like, you know, as if you're trying to lose weight, you know, the right thing is if you're in a deficit, it's gonna happen. Like it's just how it works. Like it has to, you know, unless there seriously can be, you know, there might be some medical things that are going on, but for the most part, for the majority of people, that's not the case, you know.
Exactly.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, no, and I think one problem too, especially with people that lose a lot of weight, and I had this problem personally, you know, and you kind of touched on it earlier, is you get used to seeing big drops. You get used to seeing 2 pounds every week, and then you're not used to seeing a half a pound in a week, you know? And
Dude.
You're like, wait, only a half a pound this week? And you beat yourself up over it, and you're like, well, how come I only lost a half a pound?
Mm-hmm.
Or you don't lose any weight, and you just maintain 1 week. Or even maintain for 2 weeks, and you think it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Even though, like, one thing that I really try to get people to realize is if your deficit was large enough for you to lose 2 pounds 1 week, and then the next 2 weeks you don't lose any weight at all, you do not need to drop your calories.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how deficits work. As you lose weight, the amount of weight you lose each week will get smaller and smaller and smaller over time, but it won't go from a pound to no pounds in 1 week, right? It'll go from a pound to 0.9 to 0.8 to 0.7.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's kind of the more progression. But So most of the time, it's just patience.
Yeah, and I would say like the last, like, when you start getting to the end, or I don't even like calling it those things most of the time, because it's not the end. It's, you know what I mean? But like,
I mean, it kind of is, because you go from like a deficit to like maintenance calories.
Yeah, I would agree. I would say, like, when it comes to that, like when you're towards the end of whatever losing phase you might be on, a lot of it comes down to you just have to stick to the plan. Like you just have to keep, pursuing whatever it is, whatever you think it is that you need to do.
I would say put the scale away and purely focus on your actions, right? Because a lot of the times we get too scale focused and we let the scale tell us whether we're doing good or not. And so if we're not seeing a movement on the scale, we think we're doing bad, even though you're doing just fine and you just need to be patient. So, that's what I always try to tell people is like that are kind of having problems with the scale or even plateaus. I'm like, look, at this point, if you've lost a good amount of weight, you have the common sense. You know what foods work for you, what foods to avoid. You know how to exercise. You know already.
Yeah.
You're at the end of your weight loss phase. So
Yeah.
why you don't need the scale to tell you whether you're doing what you need to be doing or not. You know. If you can be confident at the end of each day that you did what you needed to do and what you set out to do, I guarantee you will lose weight.
Yeah. And someone said here, I sort of disagree. You can adjust your calorie deficit as you go. So we're not saying that you can't do that. But
no, and you
should.
should.
Yeah, and you should.
Not
but
as
what
often as you do.
Yeah, but what we're saying here is that you might need to do that and you might not see the results right away. But what we're saying is when you, like, we're talking about the last 6 pounds, right? Last 5, like literally the last little bit. At that point, everything is going to be so much slower than it was at the start. So what we're saying is at that point, you need to just be focused on doing the things that you know you should be doing. Because
and dropping your calories is not always the answer, and people tend to, that's what they do first, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could not lose a single pound for 3 weeks and still not need to drop your calories at all. And people will think that they do. And that's what I mean is when you need to drop your calories, it's a lot less often than most people do it.
Yeah, and I think
people, it's like their first line of defense, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, why don't we?
That's not how it works.
Yeah, why don't we try and maybe up your movement, and that doesn't need to be go and do more workouts at the gym. Like that could literally be like, okay, we're gonna take 2,000 more steps a day. That's not that much of an addition. That's like less than a mile of walking for most people, and. It might be like there's so many different things that you can do, but so many people like to focus on I need to eat less calories.
Well, and what I'm saying is like from a professional standpoint, you don't need to drop your calories that often. You just really don't. Like 5 pounds of body fat doesn't equate to that much on your TDEE. It really doesn't. It just doesn't. And it especially doesn't equate enough to where if you have like a 2-pound weight loss goal per week, that you're just going to be losing 2 pounds for 3 weeks in a row, and then the 4th week you lose 0, and then the 5th week you lose another 0, and then the 6th week you think, I have to drop my calories? No, that's definitely not the answer.
Also, I just wanted to let you know I've been dead for like 10 minutes.
Okay.
Are you? No. I don't want you to stop.
No,
I hope you win.
I jumped in the goo, man. It's already too late.
Oh, okay.
You're all good, man.
I died in the seesaw one.
Oh, okay.
I think that's the one I did. It's one thing if you like plateau for 3 months, but if it's 2 to 3 weeks, then no. Yeah, like I think a lot of people they think that
I think context matters a lot too. Right?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like that's hard with everything. Like whenever we're talking about weight loss and stuff, is like, again, everyone has different reasons as to why they are where they are and like the things they need to do. And so like what I might say to this person that might help them might not be helpful for this person. So it's like everyone is so different.
And why people are experiencing plateaus is different.
So Ellen asked, what's the biggest weight loss myth that annoys you the most when people promote it? Ooh. Uh-oh.
Starvation mode.
Starvation mode?
Yeah.
What?
Eating enough, and that's why you're overweight.
Yeah, that's definitely a frustrating one for sure.
To me, it's just like that. That's like literally impossible. Like it's just, it just makes no sense to me.
Oh. No, dang it. Ah.
I'm trying to think of another one. I really don't like the loose skin and fasting.
The autophagy thing.
Yeah, I really don't like that either. It's so dumb. Where people are like, just fast, bro.
I think for me, one of the most frustrating ones is I'm not gonna make it in this one either. How embarrassing. I'm out of here. Or should I can just watch you. I'm just gonna watch you.
Okay.
I'm gonna watch you. Because then I can talk and it's fine.
Yeah,
so I think the thing for me that is the most, like one of the most frustrating ones is like spot reduction. That's what Ryan said, and I agree with him. Like people that will say like, oh, and it's such an understandable one, is like people will think that they need to get rid of their, you know, their like one thing you'll see a lot is, oh, the my lower belly is kind of flabby, so I'm gonna do a lot of crunches or whatever, right? And it's like, I understand where people are coming from there, but it's like your body doesn't like get rid of fat because you are somehow burning it by doing these exercises. Like it really is. Oh, you just got yeeted so hard. No. Dude, you just got so lucky right now. Oh my gosh. But like, so when you like people think that you do these crunches and your body will like somehow burn the fat there, but in reality it's like your body burns fat because you are in a deficit, and you can't tell your body where to burn fat. You just burn fat. And so I like that's definitely one of mine, because people will like, you know, make the burn belly fat, do this exercise or whatever, and it's just not how it works. I don't think Zach can hear me anymore.
I think I still muted, my bad.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah, no, I was eating some, like, you know those Enlightened bada bean, bada booms.
Oh yeah.
I'm eating some of those, but they're so loud. I'm like, I'm not about to do that
okay.
on a microphone. They're like the crunchiest snack in the world.
Yeah, they are, and man, the driest.
Yeah.
Bro, you crushed it.
Shut up. You weren't watching me, I guess, because I haven't made it.
Oh, what? Really? Oh, there you are. I see you now. Oh, I thought I was watching you that whole time.
Nope.
Oh, all right. Well, now we can play together again.
Yeah.
Okay. I am curious. I am 123 kilograms now, down from 132 in a 4-week period. Currently eating 900 calories. Ooh. And it's working for me. Is this too low or is it okay?
Too low.
So Magnus, yeah, that is too low, man. Like,
shoot me a DM on Instagram and I'll run your numbers. I'll get you a good starting point.
Yeah, the thing that's hard is that, like, it's I mean, yes, it's too low for sure, but like when people ask, like, it's not like, it's hard to say that because the answer to that, or like the rebuttal most of the time, I'm not saying Magnus would say this, but like the rebuttal is like, well, it's working right now, so like once I lose the weight I can just up it or whatever. And it's like, dude, that is like fantasy land. It just doesn't work like that.
Yeah, your organs and your bone density and your muscle mass say otherwise, you know?
Yeah, like it is.
It's just not good for your health.
Yeah,
Your
it's
body
just, it
needs more
really
than
isn't
that
good.
to maintain itself. But it's like, you know, you're not bad for thinking that or like eating that, you know? It's just,
Yeah, you're not. Yeah, like I just think it's like
happens.
the thing is
It's
like when
unfortunate.
you are like when you decide to. Oh, dang it! I don't think I'm gonna make it again.
I made it.
I hate this freaking one, dude.
I like this one.
I always lose at that little last part. Ugh. But like there's like it doesn't make you a bad person if you're eating that low of calories.
No, and don't be embarrassed about doing it either. Like, I honestly feel like at some point, everybody has that moment in weight loss where they're like, oh, I should just try to eat as little as possible.
Mhm.
That makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
it makes sense in your head, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you can. That's the scary thing, right? Like, if that's what I found myself. Like, at one point, I think I was eating like 1,500 calories,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just because I could. Like,
Yeah.
I wasn't feeling like super starving or hungry either. But, I
It-
mean, I felt tired. It was showing itself in other ways, but I was like, well, I'm eating a lot of food still, but I was like literally just eating like mostly broccoli
Yeah.
and chicken breast. Like, I was literally eating chicken and broccoli and like no carbs. And
Yeah,
it
and
was not good.
I think like at that point, like it's like it. I wanna try and find you.
Over to the right side.
Oh, I wish I could just like choose who I was following, but I have to like go through everybody.
Oh, I'm 101.8.
1018. Okay.
I'm wearing a flower pot.
There you are. And I think like it's like one of those things. Dang, you just jumped from so high. It's one of those things that it like. I feel like it's over time. It's like compounding. So like you can definitely eat. You can definitely eat like 900 calories for a little bit, and you might think to yourself, and I say that like you might be able to eat that much and feel like, oh, I feel fine, but like at some point you're gonna be like, I am very like it just like gets to a point where it's like your body can no longer
Yep.
handle that. I don't know if that makes
that's
sense.
when most people start really binging really bad.
Yeah, 100%, dude. The over restriction leads to binges for sure.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's a balance. But like I said, bro, if you're still in here, if you shoot me a DM, like, I'll help you out.
Yeah. And then someone says, LOL, I've been listening to these guys from the start, so I luckily avoided that mindset. My goal is to eat as much as possible while still losing weight.
Yes.
And like
Yes.
that is 100% the nice job. That is 100% like what I try and tell people. Like your goal should be, I want to
more.
eat as many calories as I possibly can and still lose weight. Like why wouldn't you want that to be your goal? And I understand, again, easier said than done, because the reason people do that is because they want it to go fast. Like they want to be able to like lose the weight as fast as possible, because again, it's not fun losing weight, but I think if you realize, okay, if I'm not in such a severe deficit, this doesn't suck as bad, and so I'm not like, I need to get this over with as fast as possible. Magnus, so he said, how do I reach you? His @ is Zach Attacks Fat. So I'm sure, can someone in the chat write out Zach's Instagram name so Magnus can reach out to him?
It disconnected me from the server for some reason, so we could start a new game.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
I actually have to go because I am doing a live Instagram with the anti-diet dietitian.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we're gonna be doing a live, and so I need to get going. I realized
Do
it's
you need me to have your back, bro? The anti-diet dietitian?
no, she's cool.
Up on you, man?
She sounds like she's not one of like the like,
Yeah, one of those.
she's not one of those dietitians. No.
I get you.
All right, dude. Well, thanks for hanging out, Zach.
Yeah, man, it was a good time.
And thanks for everyone that hung out with me. I was
Yes.
not planning on doing such a long live stream, but that's usually what I say every time.
Yeah, it's
So
good, man.
peace out, everybody.